We are recording now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to First World Third Rail. Your host, Marlon, aka Mayhem, aka Mr. B Rating, my new aka. My partner, Shotgun Seat Extraordinaire, JD, aka JD. Top of the morning, my friend.
Hey, bud. How was your weekend?
I think it was good. I had to think back. I think it was.
I know you took a personal day on Friday.
I did. I'm going to take another one this week because I need one. It was good. It was good, man. God, it feels like the weekend was forever ago, man. This is, as you get older, time goes into warp speed, obviously.
Yes,
I
I am there. That's why I
may get sidetracked here. My son, as you know, went to a wedding in Wichita, Kansas this weekend. He, upon departing Wichita yesterday, his American Airlines flight was struck by a bird. Everyone's okay. Flight had to return to the terminal. But as you know, when situations like that happen and you have a connecting flight, chances are you're going to miss your connecting flight, and he did. So he spent the night in Dallas, Texas, and should be flying out hopefully late this morning, early afternoon, back to Seattle.
I wonder how much of Dallas he'll see.
The airport. Well, the hotel, wherever he is, which I'm assuming is near the airport. And so he's not going to see much of Dallas, that's for sure.
Well, I'm glad he's safe. And you know what?
That's the important thing.
That finishes up your three. You've had 2 airplane incidents.
Yes.
And this is the third.
This is the third one. That wraps it up.
Yeah, you're wrapped.
As we were to, and our audience appears to be expanding. Thank you all who viewed our last podcast last Thursday.
Somebody beside us watching it?
Yes.
A third person?
More than a third. Way more than a third. So we're grateful. Don't know if everybody subscribed, but we're grateful that you at least took the time to listen and hear us. As we were coming on, I shared a video this morning with JD of Eminem making a comment. I'm not going to air it here, mainly because of the...
Why not?
Do you want to air it? We can air it.
I'd love to air it. Do you want me to air it? I can air it. I've got it queued up. I was right there. Just
go for it. Go for it.
All right. So let me tell you what I'm gonna
do.
Go
for it. You and I are going to agree to disagree on the issue here, but go for it.
Well, that will be the first time we've ever disagreed.
No, it won't.
Let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm pausing it. I'm turning on the sound. I'm taking it back to the beginning, right?
Go for it.
Making it full screen so it's ready to go. I'm now going to share.
By the way, I'm an Eminem fan.
Oh, he did one song that I like. I have this issue.
Oh, he did more than one that I like. I'm a fan of his.
Well, I like one of his songs.
He's a talented individual, very talented, and like me, and I can relate to this. His path to where he is today, comes with pain.
Well, as regards Eminem, I have my favorite song is Not Afraid. All right, so I have one song of his that I like. So tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready, go.
I'm going to share. Can you see it?
Yep, go for it.
When I start talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and the shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life? I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit. There's part of me that understands, like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is gonna happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know, man. I get really flustered when I talk about it.
Bada bing, bada boom. I'm not afraid. Actually, I'm terrified.
Let me preemptively say, I love you. We're going to disagree. I have said this from the very first podcast we've ever done together. For you to, and when I say you, I'm talking about MAGA, for you to think
Not me, MAGA.
you can relate or he cares or has your best interest at heart makes you a fucking idiot. Period. End of story. For you to think that and believe that and continue to believe that, it makes you a fucking idiot. Period. Now you can layer on top entitlement, you can layer on top prejudices and racism, you can layer whatever other adjective you want to layer on, you can layer on, but at the core of it, for you to believe this makes you an idiot.
All right.
Because as I've said from day one, I will wait for you to offer me an exhibit or an example where he cares or has demonstrated he has done something other than segregation and white supremacy for MAGA.
Let me know when you're ready.
We'll be waiting a long time.
All right. So you had a single question out of all that. So you had an exposition, then you had a question. The question was, name a single time when Trump was a benefit to his supporters. Was that your question?
No. We know the benefit wrapped under white supremacy, wrapped under white supremacy. We get that benefit. To the and that's to MAGA, to the less than 1%. Yeah, we know the benefit he was to you. He's done nothing. He doesn't care about these people. You know it. I know it. He's never demonstrated in his entire career, his entire life, that he can relate to MAGA, ever. But yet, to Eminem's point, he's brainwashed them into thinking that he does. I will get, like Eminem, I will give him credit. It's hard to give him credit because it's hard for me to comprehend being that fucking stupid, but you are that fucking stupid. So I'm going to give him credit for being able to do that to such low IQ. Remember what he said in 2016. I love the poorly uneducated. This is exactly why.
Are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay, so what was your challenge in there? You're just saying that they're idiots? Is that the basic premise?
That is the core of the issue.
All right. Now, did you have a question about an exhibit?
No.
When he demonstrated alignment with?
No, because he's never in his entire life demonstrated that he cares about anybody but himself. Never.
What was that? What was that abortion decision? Roe v. something?
How is overturning Roe v. Wade a benefit to MAGA? It actually hurts MAGA.
Hold on.
No, there's no hold on. It actually hurts them.
Legitimate hold on. They wanted it repealed. And what happened?
I don't want to have this discussion, JD. I really don't.
Because you got no.
It hurts them. You're taking away healthcare.
Listen.
This goes right to my point.
Listen.
This
If,
goes right to my point. This goes right to my point.
if I can hurt the people that I dislike, I'm willing to suffer. You can do this in personal situations. How many times have you done something?
I don't want to have this
like, I
conversation.
shouldn't have done that, but at the instant, it gave you joy because you either said something that you don't like to somebody.
Which takes us right back to the ignorance. You're voting against your own well-being, which is ignorant.
You don't know what point I'm making because you won't let me make it.
I know what point you're.
Okay, let me agree with you that Trump produces nothing good for any party, MAGA, Republican. In other words, he is going to destroy everything for everybody.
He already has.
Okay, can I agree with you on that and then continue?
Fine.
All right. So, central to my thesis is that MAGA are making a calculation, and it is not based on.
Go ahead.
Not based on ignorance. It's based on producing results.
This is not, no.
Give you an
No,
example.
no. I got to shut this down right now. No, it's healthcare. Are you telling me MAGA is wealthy enough to afford healthcare outside of what's being provided? No.
You didn't hear my original agreement that they are voting against their own best interests.
Which makes them what?
What's that?
Which makes you what?
Which, if it hurts the people you hate.
There's no if, JD. There's no if.
It hurts everybody, so I can guarantee it hurts the people that you hate. So if you want to hurt, and I mean hurt, economically, philosophically, spiritually, democratically, if you want to hurt another group, you're going to suffer some blowback. And MAGAs are calculating that Trump is their best bet to put a real hurt on the groups that they hate. First and foremost, libtards, fucking libtards, those elites who have college educations and they
guess what? The elites can afford health care. MAGA can't.
Listen,
MAGA can't. That's why MAGA's got to go.
I'm asking you to consider, I'm opening a new vein in the conversation.
I'm
saying you are correct. You are correct. Trump will hurt everything. MAGA will suffer, libtards will suffer, but best of all, immigrants, people of color, LGBTQIA+ will suffer. This is very satisfying. This is very satisfying to MAGA. Putting a hurt on these people. And I'm willing to take some collateral damage because I'm a person of high character.
This is more than collateral damage. This is more than collateral damage.
You cannot calculate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do a jujitsu on the ignorant thing. If a person who's not well-educated and is basically existing from day to day has been doing this for, let's say, for purposes of discussion, 2 to 3 decades. So they've been aware of their own existence for 2 to 3 decades. And their existence is circumscribed by their experience. Very hard to hurt people who have had limited experiences. Very hard to hurt people who don't have aspirations. It's very hard to take their future when they don't see the future and they don't anticipate the future. So if you say to an individual and you say, do you realize that when this healthcare is removed, that your pre-diabetes is going to become diabetes, your feet are going to swell, and it looks like there's a 40% chance one of them will be amputated. would you vote for Biden? They're like, fuck that shit. That ain't gonna happen to me, man. I'm a man of high character. I can tough out any single situation that you can throw at me. I'm telling you, it is a calculus. It is not based on.
It is ignorance,
So far,
JD.
their calculus has produced results. Now, I saw an exhibit today that says Democrats are catching on to this. Did you hear about
No, I didn't.
the Biden administration is doing with signage on
Yeah.
infrastructure
Yeah.
projects?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is the kind of thing that I really like. And I like it probably for a different reason. I don't like it because when a MAGA sees it, the sign says, you're fucking stupid, you're fucking stupid, your senator didn't vote for this, you're fucking.
Tell me where,
Hold on,
tell me
hold on.
where it's, tell
All
me
it
where,
might do,
tell
all
me
it might
where
do,
it's
let me
wrong.
complete my thought. All it might do is change the calculus. In other words, it adds something to the calculus. And it's also an example of Democrats not being elitists. Elitists are the kind of people who say, I'm going to put the evidence out there, you judge for yourself. If you reach the wrong conclusion, then you're ignorant and you're an idiot. So I really like what they're doing because it is not elitist and it could change the calculation. If 1,400 people go in and out of a town on a daily basis, and out of those 1,400, you got 12 people who are like, okay, that makes a difference.
Eloquent diatribe. I'm going to sum this up and move on because I'm not going to have this discussion.
Oh, because you were so impressed
When
with
you
the
vote,
comprehensive nature of my presentation.
when you vote against your own welfare and
We do
well-being,
everything against our own welfare. Have
you
you had,
are,
when was the last time you had creamer in your coffee?
oh God, dude, I have no idea.
Do you?
I don't, no,
what,
I don't
What do
use
you put in your
creamer.
coffee?
Nothing.
Okay, not coffee. I got to go to something else.
Yeah, that's not going to
When
work.
was the last time you went to?
Let me go back and summarize this so we can move to a different topic that I want to move to. When you vote against your own interest and welfare, you are a fucking idiot. Period.
No,
Period.
because that would make everybody idiots.
Well, then we don't vote against our own welfare. We elected
We sure
Biden.
do. We vote for higher taxes.
How do you think shit's going to get paid? We got to have higher taxes.
We make a calculation, and
No,
our
that's not a calculation. No, stop, dude.
Other things, but
Stop,
it's against their best interest.
Stop. You just stop with that bullshit.
Listen, if I'm motivated,
If you're going to drive in and out of the, if you want to drive,
calculation,
if
you end up being MAGA. It's a
if you
calculation.
want to drive in and out of that town and see that billboard that you just fucking talked about, you have to have infrastructure and roadways to drive in and out of that town.
They're getting
How the fuck
it.
do you
And
think that
Biden
gets
said,
paid for?
all of these fucking Republicans are taking credit for what they voted against.
Exactly.
Say what? Say who?
No, you're right. They are.
Yeah. So all they're doing is, in my estimation, it could change the calculus. It won't make these people smarter. They'll still be exactly.
They'll never be smarter. They'll never be smarter
about one thing, which is I want to work at that plant. All they have to do is be smart about one thing.
All right.
They just have to change the calculus.
All right.
They can.
You know where I am on this.
Like,
you know where I am on this.
Do the job there. It looks like the wages are going to be.
You know where I am on this. So
I really want to have that plant in my town.
You know where I am on this. He said it. He meant it.
I know where you are, but the problem is where you are keeps us from seeing what's going on.
How do you not see?
Like, even Eminem, if I had somebody.
How do you not see what's going on?
I want somebody to express in words how I feel. I'd say, how about Eminem? He's good at that. And Eminem's like, I just can't figure out any words to say. And I'm telling you, there are answers. And the answers are not, they're fucking idiots. The answer is, they're making a calculation, and it's based on some elements that are not very attractive, and it's very self-centered.
I'm done with this conversation, man.
Well, go ahead.
You know where I sit on this.
All right, well, I'm very pleased with my exposition, and thank you for listening.
You're more than welcome. Because I'm done.
Yeah, but you never actually explore any aspect of this concept. Like, you never like, oh, well, what do you mean by it? Like, you don't say, oh, JD, when you say that, what do you mean?
I don't need to know the meaning.
That's
When
what
you
I'm saying.
when
One of the things we've always done well is we're like, what do you
when
mean by that?
you
And you
live,
refuse to go, well, what do you mean by that? You're just like, well, you're just stupid and idiotic.
yes, you are.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you are. When you
You're
live,
just saying,
when
JD,
you
you're stupid and idiotic. I shouldn't do the
when
voice.
you live in poverty, when you live below the poverty line, when you live in that trailer park and you send your money
You
to
can put a hurt on people of color and elite
and you
immigrants,
send money,
LGBTQ, you're going to be filled with joy because you get
and
no other satisfaction.
let's move on. Let's move on.
I'm willing.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Because you want to be difficult, and I hate when you do this.
I'm not being difficult.
Yes, you are.
know
Yes,
it
you are.
because
You didn't even let me get.
I've had the same position for
I'm going to
years.
say it
I'm not
one
being-
more
I'm not
fucking
being difficult.
time. I'm going to say it one more fucking time. When you live in or below the poverty line and you send money that you do not have to feed and clothe your family to a billionaire, thinking that billionaire has your best interest, that makes you a fucking idiot. Period. Period. There's no other ancillary discussion here. When you do that, that makes you fucking dumber than a box of fucking crayons. We've
That
had
means
this
that
discussion.
anybody who's ever ordered anything from QVC is an idiot.
Yes. Yes.
You could have fed your kids with that, but instead you sent away for fill in the blanks. Wind chimes.
He summed it up perfectly, and I'm going to
Why do
sum
you
it
do
up
that?
and
You do
move
that
it
because
on.
it brings you
He summed it up perfectly in
called
2016. He summed it up perfectly in 2016. I'm going to sum it up again for those who aren't paying attention, and I am moving on from this subject. He loves the poorly uneducated, and we know why.
because they have a very small existence, and you get
Because they are no, has nothing to do with that.
To carry their
He
banner.
loves the poorly uneducated because they are exactly that.
Did you say poorly uneducated?
Yes.
Poorly
Educated. Because he loves them because they are exactly that. And that's
double negative.
I'm done with that. Now, I got to touch on something. This is going to be sports related, so I don't know how deep you are going to want to go on this, but this
Is it sports emotion or sports
both
statistics?
Emotion.
Okay, emotion is good. Anything that's human is good. And sports is actually a crucible.
Not for you, not in this case, not for you.
Oh.
I saw, and I actually texted this to my circle, my tight circle, the 5, 6 of us who've known each other since we crawled out of the crib. I don't think any of them are going to respond to this because I know they're thinking, oh, here's Marlon throwing more kindling out, trying to get a reaction from us.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Your circle.
Yeah.
Are they all black?
Yes, they are.
As God intended. I love that. That's as it should be. That's your circle.
Well, it's where I grew
I
up.
don't have to explain it to you. Sorry.
No, it's where I grew up, and it's where I grew.
Let me explain it to you.
It's where I grew up and who I grew up with.
Let me explain your whole life.
They're all, and for the record, for those that might be tuning in that do not know, the circle that we're talking about has friendships. The minimum amount of time has been 50 years.
Well, you know what? You did me the great honor of allowing me to visit your circle. So
you know that circle. I wish I had that picture that I could pull up.
It is a privilege.
I might have that picture. I'll pull that picture up where I think that was my mother's funeral where you came down to the Hyatt and met my group. But I sent them a text this morning, and I know they're not going to reply because they're thinking, okay, here's Marlon throwing kindling out there, chum, as I call it, chum in the water. I do that with the
Are
12.
they gonna watch this?
One might.
Okay. Well, here we
One might.
go.
And so I sent that to him, and I don't expect a response. But I know that I will have a conversation with one of them because we talk about football all the time. And I'm talking about my good friend, Clifford Ray Newman. Shout out to Cliff, who I've known since kindergarten. So that's 59 years. Here's the text screenshot that I sent them. It is a tweet that came this morning from Ed Werner, football correspondent for ESPN.
Ed Werder. I like me some
Ed Werner. I love Ed Werner. He covers the Cowboys. Ed sent out a tweet this morning. I should find it because I don't want to misquote him. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I got it right here.
3 viewers.
No, we got a little bit more, man. Sorry.
Hey, before you show that picture, where are you at?
I am at the dock of the ferry. I believe that is Edmonds to Kingston.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you, man. Thank you. The Olympics in the background. That's our ferry system. We have great ferry system here, although one ran aground recently, but beautiful ferry system we have here in the state of Washington. All right, here's Ed Werner's tweet, which is an hour ago. Ed Werner of ESPN. And I'm going to read it, quote, unquote. Players have complained to head coach Ron Rivera about Eric Bieniemy's coaching methods being too harsh. That's the tweet.
Okay.
To which I responded directly to Ed and said, and I quote, I'm sorry, what did you say, Ed? Too harsh? Really? Have they looked at their record and performance the last 20 seasons? Too harsh? And on the text thread, I added to my boys, this to me qualifies as the first Come On Man of the year on ESPN's Come On Man Monday Night
Come
Football.
on, man.
Too harsh? Too harsh.
Well, yeah, I've been phoning it in here with the commanders, the commies. I've been here with the commies doing nothing.
Oh my God.
Now I got to do something.
Oh my God. And
what's interesting, I'll bet you that Eric Bieniemy, since he came from Kansas City, what he saw was an elite level of exertion,
talent.
Talent. I'm doing mostly personal drive that was present with a world champion that's just not present here. So
ding, ding, ding.
Eric is going to have to make the adjustment in the sense that he needs to make sure he changes nothing. He just needs to make an adjustment to people whining about it. That's all.
Or he can go back to Kansas City and leave Washington to fend for themselves.
No. No, if you're okay, so here are a couple of things from Ed Werder's. Is it called a tweet? What's it called now?
I don't know. His mama call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Okay.
His mama call him Twitter. I'm gonna call him Twitter.
Can I ask you a favor? Can you please reread it again? It was a short one.
Players have complained to head coach Ron Rivera about Eric Bieniemy's coaching methods being too harsh.
Okay.
In 59 years of support, student of the game, and staunch lover of the National Football League, let me translate that tweet for you. That organization's players are as soft as Charmin, and they have no intent on winning. If you're complaining about that, then you one, don't know what is required to win. Two, if you do, you're choosing not to make the sacrifice needed to win. Period.
Has anybody responded to Ed Werder's tweet?
Oh, several.
Okay. Can you help me with the, oh, actually, before you do that, let me tell you how I hear the tweet.
All right.
It said players, that's just more than one, so there could be two. And how many on the roster right now? 100?
Probably 100.
So it could be two, could be three players, but we don't know.
Oh,
Too
it's more than 2 or 3. It's
Too
more
hard.
than 2 or 3.
Too harsh. What does too harsh mean? We don't know. So it's variable times variable, no constants, no metrics, no nothing. I do not paint every single goddamn player on the commies with this brush. Yeah, players, I'm going to say 2, 3, 4, maybe 4.
More than 2 or 3. More than 2 or 3.
Well,
Because
we
this
don't
wouldn't be
know.
a
The point
it
is, we
wouldn't be
don't
a
know.
it wouldn't be a story if it were only
I'm
2 or
going
3.
to say that this is very beneficial, and I'll bet what's the guy, who's the guy who owns the Dallas Cowboys?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. I was going to say Jimmy Jones, but I knew it was Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
And I didn't want to say, okay, so Jerry Johnson is going to say, Ed,
Jerry Jones.
dumbass, why did you tweet this? Because Jerry Jones knows how locker rooms work. He knows how they work. He's like, you stupid fuck. You just gave them motivation.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You might be the one. No.
If somebody said about a member of my team, if they said, some of your players are saying that it's too harsh, I'd be like, what the fuck you talking about? Who are they? Tell me who they are so I can get rid of them. No, I think this is real beneficial for the commies.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Why isn't it?
Because it's true.
Well, if it's
If
true,
you have players, if you have players on that roster in that locker room thinking that Eric Bieniemy's coaching style is too harsh, you got a major fucking problem.
no, you don't, because
Yes,
he's
you
not
do.
going to change his style.
Yes, you
And
do.
the ones who think it's too harsh are going to make arrangements with their agents to get out.
Well, then, again,
I'm seeing
you
it as
have a
net
major
bonus. Thank you,
fucking problem.
Edward. What's that?
You got a major fucking problem.
Well, it's just like everything else. I don't see it the same way. I don't think every single football player in there is a lazy bones. I think most of them are busting their ass.
I
No,
didn't
that's
say
what you said. You said this reveals that the Washington commies are a shit for brains, lazy ass organization.
no. I
don't
said
think it
no.
reveals that.
No, nobody said that. What they said was Eric Bieniemy's style was too harsh. And if you have players in that locker room who feel that way, then you got a major fucking problem.
Okay, Mr. Sports Experte, why do you have a major problem if some of your players are pussies?
Because
Knowing who they are.
winning in any professional level is hard. And in order to win, why don't you let me finish?
I am so sorry.
In order to win, you have to sacrifice. You have to work. You have to blood, sweat, and tears. It doesn't, especially in this league, winning does not come fucking easy. How do you think Patrick Mahomes, in the 5-6 years now he has been in this league, he's had the success that he's had? Because Eric,
fucking talented.
talent alone doesn't get it done.
I'll agree with that.
There are a lot of people who are
But
talented.
the pie chart, a big part of it is he sees the field.
There are a lot of people who are talented that never hoist.
All right, let me know when you're done.
There are a lot of people who are talented who never hoist trophies.
All right, let's be sure what we're arguing about. I'm arguing this is a positive event. You're arguing it's a negative event.
Because of exposition. This exposes yet another layer of the culture that contributed to the dysfunction of the Washington Commodores, which is why they only win Grammys and not football games.
So true. You are correct. Once again, we're in agreement about that aspect. But if you, not but, and, comma, and, no, it would be and, semicolon, whatever. If you wanted to resolve a problem in your world, immaterial what the problem is, what's the first thing that you would be counseled to do by a psychiatrist, by a teacher, by a mentor, by a parent, by a good friend? What's the first thing you would be counseled to do?
Repeat the question. I'm sorry. Sorry, I got
The
distracted.
first thing you would do on a journey to improvement. What's the very first thing? Everybody everywhere would do it, and it would be recommended.
Self-assess.
Self-assess, admit
Yeah.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed Werder. Ed Werder just came out, and he's the intra-division rival, the primary rival. And he came out and he said, there's a problem.
Yes.
I'm saying that's a positive event because it starts the clock. If you're on the Washington Redskins or the commies, and somebody says, how's it going? You'd say, well, we have a problem. Some of the people in our organization think that our new coach's methods are too harsh. It's a problem, and it's going to keep us from being successful. That's what I'm saying. Ed Werder, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So you think this exposition is going to change them?
Yes, because I
Yeah,
don't.
you don't know football.
Now, if I'm a player and I'm busting my ass,
You don't know
I'm
football, dude.
busting my ass, and I got somebody who is next to me and they're not exerting themselves, I can now say, hey, you're giving us a bad look.
And
All we need is the ability to actually articulate things and make them real. Ed Werder made the lack of effort real. And you can't pretend it's not happening. It
No.
is now. It's on. Ed Werder says it's on. The Redskins are pussies. The commies are pussies. That stupid commanders. They might change the name.
the Commodores is what I call them. Listen,
I like the Commodores.
it is hard to win, as everybody knows, in this league. You have to have 53
And they don't.
plus the staff rowing the boat in the same direction, and they don't.
But Jesus.
Now, let's see, in parting the seas, if this helps. I'm saying it's not going to help. This exposition is not going to help.
It can't hurt.
The only thing that's going to help is getting 53 who are rowing the boat in the same direction.
Okay, that's the disagreement. He did not say 100% of the players are complaining.
No.
And it's too harsh because Eric Bieniemy is putting them into solitary if they don't do 3 crunches. We don't know. It's just some players too harsh. If I go outside and it's 89 degrees, I'll be like, God, it's hot. If I go out and it's 97 degrees, I'll be like, God, it's hot. If I go out and it's 104, I'll be like, God, it's really hot. It's too harsh. In other words, it's on a scale. It's on a continuum. We don't know what the fuck too harsh means. Maybe he took the Jell-O pudding out of the lunch. I don't know.
I have an idea.
And you
I don't know, but I have an idea.
All right.
I have an idea.
What
I have an idea.
Say?
Coaches like Eric Bieniemy, who've had the success that he's had, granted with a very talented quarterback, and that quarterback has won championships because of Eric Bieniemy and his focus to what you need to be doing at this moment right now in training camp. And that clearly is an issue for people who are on that roster. This is why exposition here is not, it's good that it's getting out into the open, but you got people on this roster who are not committed to winning. That's my takeaway here.
You've got people on this roster who are not committed to winning. I agreed with you, but not all of them.
Not all of them.
And Bieniemy almost certainly, is he a rookie head coach?
He's not a rookie. He's not a head coach. He's the offensive coordinator.
Okay. Is he fucking up? Yeah, he probably walks through the
No,
door.
how's he fucking up? How's he fucking up?
Oh, I can't do anything right, and I've been doing it for years. I mean, it is human nature. Very rarely do you get to the point where you're not fucking up regularly. So I'm sure some of the criticisms are deserved. I'm sure there are things that he's doing that are they're harsh, they're pointless, and the players
Oh,
are
they're
like,
not pointless. No, they're not pointless.
no, what I'm saying is that there's merit in every aspect, but it's not all encompassing. Some players are responding positively. Eric is having some positive impacts. Simultaneously, some players are thinking it's too harsh, and Eric is probably doing some things that 3 years from now, they'll be like, you remember when you used to do this? And he goes, oh, Jesus Christ, I wish I hadn't done that.
No, I don't think, no, you'll never hear
He's
that out.
saying that he doesn't get to have an educational period where he actually refines his
What
own.
I'm saying to you is Eric Bieniemy knows what's required to hoist that trophy because he's done it with Andy Reid in Kansas City.
Yeah. I didn't say he's fucking everything up. I said he's probably making some mistakes. That doesn't change. I wouldn't fire him.
I don't think he's making.
This is all part and parcel of
How do you make a mistake when you know the recipe to win and have success? That's not making a mistake.
Listen,
Do you want to win or not?
it's highly probable. What you said earlier actually was the answer to this question. He's probably doing things that are better applied to a group of a football team that is further along in its development. So he's probably bringing a level of whatever that is inconsistent with where this football team is now, which is it's not very good. They got a couple of good players, but they're not a great team. They're not a Buffalo Bills. They're not a Kansas City.
I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan and have been one since Jerry bought the team in 1989. Here is my counsel to the Washington Commodore team and fan base. If you want to get there to the level of Kansas City, you better shut the hell up and listen to Eric Bieniemy.
I like that. And he could
Instead of complaining,
results in tweets, but
instead of running into Ron Rivera's office and complaining, you better shut the hell up and listen to what he is saying.
Well, you know what? If you went in and you complained to Ron Rivera, well, that is going to significantly shorten your tenure. So maybe you want to get off the commies and go someplace else. That could be a factor.
Well, that's going to be stapled to you, though. I'm coming to the Indianapolis Colts. I was traded from Washington because I felt Eric Bieniemy was too harsh. You don't know harsh yet. We'll show you harsh. Eric, you think Eric Bieniemy was harsh. You give me an example. Scott Taylor, the head coach of the Cincinnati no.
That's Zach Miller.
Zach Miller. It wasn't him. It was Kevin Stefanski, I believe, head coach of the Cleveland Browns. This happens every year in training camp. So the first 2 weeks of training camp, offense goes against defense, dark color jersey against light color jersey. And for 2 weeks, you have people who are teammates beating up on each other. And in the heat, in the moment, that boils up, the water in that pot boils up, and you have fights in training camp. What is the problem with which happens every year? Now we're entering the phase where starting this weekend, we're going to start to have joint practices. So the fights are going to increase because now you're not hitting your teammate, you're hitting others. And we do this every year with the Rams. Massive fight breaks out between Cowboys and Rams in these joint practices. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Browns, trying to run practice. Water boils up, massive brawl which happens every training camp, every practice. Massive brawl breaks out. People are fighting all over the place. What does Kevin Stefanski do? He goes, if you've got energy to fight, then you got energy to run wind sprints. And we're going to run them until you fucking hurl on this practice field. And that's exactly what he made them do. Line up, one end to the other until people start fucking falling out. You want to fight? You got energy to fight? We're gonna see how much energy you got to run.
I'm okay with that.
Yes, but that
Go
might
the
be
enemy.
deemed
Go Eric.
that might be deemed too
That'll-
harsh by some. That might be deemed too harsh. Too
No,
harsh.
you know, if it doesn't kill you, it just makes you stronger. I read that somewhere.
Yes, that's a quote from yours truly. I've got issues there. That's a quote from yours truly. Throughout my career, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Listen,
You want to hear something stupid?
what?
We're coming up on an hour.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I swear to God.
How the hell did that happen?
I
We haven't even
No.
we haven't even gotten to Christmas in August.
Warmed up yet.
We haven't even gotten to Christmas in August yet, and I don't want to get to it because it's going to anger me.
Christmas in August. Do you want to save it for tomorrow?
The gag order
What gag order?
that they're trying to impose on the third indictment. The fourth indictment is coming.
Oh, on Trump?
I just
Oh, I'm sure it will be imposed. Whether it can be enforced is a separate issue.
it's not going to be enforced.
Okay,
And
so
my
what
better have
Are you
my
pissed
better-
about the gag order not being enforced? Is that it?
no. What I'm pissed about is, oh my God,
One thing.
you know what it is. Anyone
Question.
else would not be afforded this luxury.
And they wouldn't be an ex-president either.
No.
I do think that changes things. If you were an ex-president, it would give you certain je ne sais quoi. I mean, you would have more.
Are you honestly sitting there in that chair saying to me that Barack Obama would be afforded what he's afforded? No, he would not.
No, I don't know that he would be afforded what he's afforded.
No, hell no. And
I
you
don't
know that. And you know that.
Ho, 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 ho. I said some leeway. An ex-president is not normal. It's abnormal.
I
said
get that.
some leeway.
I get that. But there's no way. Christ, they wanted to lock Hillary up for nothing.
What? True.
Nobody would be
But
afforded
we didn't.
this.
We didn't want to lock her up, so it was okay.
Nobody would be afforded this. And and here's the thing that angers me the most. It's them.
You got to remember, Hillary was not locked up.
No, I know, but they were chanting and wanting it.
Well, that's
And
all we're
trying to-
doing.
and
We're
trying
like
to-
chanting, lock him up, lock him up. So, but I mean, she
No,
wasn't.
we have actual, the big difference between the two is we actually have crimes that have actually been committed here.
I'll
There's a
agree
big
with
difference.
that, but the
There's a
important
big
point to
difference.
remember is that you can't have a hypothetical against a real.
Here's the thing that probably angers me the most. It is them crying about a two-tiered justice system, and this is exhibit A of a two-tiered justice system.
The hypocrisy is all in caps.
Yes,
Hypocrisy,
yes,
but that's a specialty of my people. We're good at hypocrisy.
yeah, clearly.
You know why? Because
Clearly.
it only applies to you. It doesn't apply to me. Bitch.
True.
You know, that's the first time I've ever said that on air.
I love it.
I've been saying it to you ever since it was popularized by Breaking Bad. I think the first time we talked, I was like, you want a piece of me? Bitch.
It's
The other
just,
one is from,
it's just,
I'm listening.
I'm like Eminem. I don't have any words for this.
I got words.
And,
you know,
and so my better half, and I love her to death, she's always asking, why are you so angry? This is why every day I go through life so angry, because we would never be afforded, ever, at any level, this type of treatment, ever. Ex-president or not, he's a human being subject to law.
well,
We're all
he wouldn't
subject.
need it because he's a decent human being. We're talking about Obama again, right?
No. We are all subject to the laws of
But
this
he's an
land.
ex-president. That makes it
I
special.
don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't care, but I'm telling you, it is different.
He is subject to the law. Ex-president, current president, I don't give a fuck what you are. You're
We're about to get a fourth indictment out of Georgia. So yeah, he's subject to the law. And if we'd had a different judge in Florida, it would be a different story as well. So
one would like to believe. Florida, I'm waiting for the day Florida detaches from the greater 48, sinks out into the
What was
Atlantic.
the Meatloaf song? 2 out of 3 ain't bad, or 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
I'm waiting for the day that Florida detaches from the greater 48 continental and sinks out into the Atlantic, is never heard from again. And I even tried to do Ron DeSantis a favor.
Burning ring of fire.
And I sent him a tweet this morning and just basically said, Ron, I know you low IQ. The issue isn't your campaign manager. The issue is you. You blow chunks.
Have we switched to Ron DeSanctimonious?
Yeah, because he fired his campaign manager today.
Oh.
Yesterday,
Well,
today.
You know what? If I'm his campaign manager, I'm like, thank you, Ron.
I haven't seen anyone reboot their campaign this many times in 30 days ever.
Well,
so you might want to think maybe
the good
it's
thing
not
about Ron DeSantis is the moment you see him, you think to yourself, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Well, he is.
That's wonderful. I appreciate him for being so transparent.
Mr. Glass half full.
Yeah.
I'm taking us out before we get into more trouble.
Take us out, big guy, because we're almost at an hour.
Yeah. Well, there's a third rail I'm going to touch on tomorrow. The internet wins again. I know you know about this brawl that took place in Montgomery, Alabama. We'll talk about that tomorrow at the boat dock.
All right, I want to hear about that. But I'm thinking if we have a third viewer, we shouldn't punish that viewer by making them watch too long.
Maybe they want to watch. Maybe they want more.
Oh, they'll watch tomorrow.
Maybe they want more. They'll tell us. Hey, great discussion as always.
As always, thanks for letting me go off just a moment.
Absolutely. We'll see what the next indictment brings. Jesus Christ, man. How many indictments do you need?
Oh, now that is an open-ended question. I'm going to say as many as possible.
Well, we're getting all that are merited, that's for sure.
Well, E. Jean Carroll's about to ramp up again, I hope. That'd be wonderful.
Oh my God.
Oh.
We're on Twitter or whatever. His mama call him Twitter. I'm gonna call him Twitter. We're on Twitter. We're on Spoutable. We're in our YouTube channel. Please find us. Please like us. Please hate us. Please talk about us. Talk to us. Hate us if you must. But more importantly, if you hate us, subscribe to us because you don't want to miss the third rails that are coming, especially this week. My goodness.
My goodness. All right, bud.
Been a pleasure. Thank you all. Join us again. Here we go. Where are we? It's Marlon Taylor's Dallas mug headed it's at the docks. All right, partner. We'll see you.
Bye.